Okay, what's up, guys? So, Fact Faction, they have uploaded a part 2 to the 5 mysterious unsolved cases. Now, they actually, or the person or the many people behind this channel, I don't know if it's one person or many people, but they contacted me and they said that they liked my reaction to part 1. And they had let me know that part 2 was coming out soon, and then also they subscribed to me, and I was like, whoa, wow. Like seeing that, because that's from time to time I look at the people that have subscribed to me to ever see if there's like a big YouTuber or somebody that I have made a reaction video like to one of their videos, see if it's one of them or something. So yeah, from time to time I just check out my subscribers, and I think it was like this. Yeah, it was all within the same day. Actually, because I think they had commented that night. Then that morning, because it like refreshes my subscribers like every morning and stuff. Well, actually no, like it lets me know when I get new subscribers and things, but that's just the number rises. It doesn't show up in the little subscriber thingy where you can see all your subscribers or your latest subscribers. But I did see it was like the next day that they had subscribed to me and things. I knew it was them because they even had the verified check next to their name and stuff. So I was like, wow, Fact Faction subscribed to me. I was like, that was pretty. They said they liked my reaction videos and stuff, and said that it's like they like how when there's something that goes down, I pause and talk about it instead of just, you know, how some people they just okay, guys, so thank you for watching, and then, you know, and so on. So it's just, yeah, I ain't gonna do that to them. They're like, because I really do find their videos interesting. Like, when I watch their videos, it's so interesting, like, stories I never heard before, things I never heard before. And it's just like, and then I also like to, you know, give my opinion out. That's one thing I like to do during my reaction videos, give my opinion out. So to those out there saying it's just all like, oh, you know, you're like everybody else and stuff, I'm not. Okay, there's people different from me. I mean, honestly, Fact Faction, they agree with what I'm saying. They're saying because I'm saying the same exact thing that they're saying. So, anyways, and that being said, let's check out this video. It's like getting real hot in my room for some reason. I'm thinking about turning my fan on.
5 Mysterious Unsolved Cases, Part 2. Number 1. The Jamison Family. The first case on our list is extremely strange and still remains unexplained over 6 years later.
Dang.
The Jamison family, which consisted of Bobby, his wife Sherilyn, and their 6-year-old daughter Madison, went missing on October 8, 2009.
Oh.
The Jamisons had decided that they wanted to move out of their lakefront property to make a fresh start in a new area. On the morning of October 8th, the family traveled 30 miles from their home near Eufaula to a rural area in Oklahoma in hopes of buying a 40-acre plot of land. They drove their white pickup truck to the isolated Sans Bois Mountains, but never returned. On October 16th, the family's abandoned vehicle was found on the side of the road by a Latimer County sheriff.
Wow.
Inside the locked truck were the Jamisons' wallets, IDs, cell phones, a GPS system, around $32,000 in cash, and even the daughter's beloved dog, who was on the edge of starvation.
Wow.
Police quickly launched a huge search operation but found nothing. It wasn't
That's
until
crazy.
over 4 years later when they discovered the family's skeletal remains around 3 miles from where their truck was abandoned. An autopsy was performed, but the remains were in such a bad state that the cause of death could not be determined.
Wow.
On the day before their disappearance, security cameras from their home caught the Jamisons as they loaded up their truck. Investigators claimed the pair looked as if they were in a trance-like state, walking from their house to the truck over 20 times without speaking to each other once. The Jamisons were also very thin and emaciated around the time they went missing, which has led to theories that the pair were hooked on crystal meth. However, police found no drugs or drug paraphernalia in the home. Months prior to the disappearance, the Jamisons had become very paranoid and told some of their friends and family that their house was haunted and explained that they had seen spirits. Bobby even informed a pastor of the spirits and had asked whether he could obtain special bullets to shoot them. The Jamisons had both suffered with depression throughout their lives, and Sherilyn had
hold on, I know I shouldn't be like pausing because it's like midway through the story, but not even in movies or anything that I've ever heard of that there's been ever a thing, you know, special bullets to shoot. Like that's how you know a person, they like guns way too much when they want special bullets for ghosts. Like, no, you get a holy water, you get some Bible, you just take that holy water, you just no, actually no, you don't just take the holy water like that. Get as much holy water as you can, put it in the water gun, and you just start spraying all around the house, reading scriptures from the Bible. All right, that's exactly what I would do if my house was on it. All right.
This photo of 6-year-old Madison was taken in the mountains and was found on Bobby's cell phone inside the truck, and is believed to be the last ever picture taken of her.
Wow.
The family have said that they don't believe Bobby or Sherilyn took the photo, as Madison isn't looking towards the camera, and because she appears to look terrified. There are many theories surrounding this case, from the family getting lost, abduction, a cult sacrifice, a cartel killing, to a murder-suicide. However, over 6 years later, nobody is any closer to knowing what really happened
That's crazy.
on that day. Number 2. Amber Tuccaro. 20-year-old Amber Tuccaro went missing on August 18, 2010. The previous day, Amber, her 14-month-old son, and her female friend flew to Edmonton International Airport from her hometown of Fort McMurray, Alberta. Once the three arrived, they booked themselves into a motel in Nisku, close to the airport, where they could spend the night. The next evening, Amber left the motel to catch a ride into the city of Edmonton. She decided to hitch a ride with an unknown male, which turned out to be the worst mistake of her life. The next day, after not hearing from her, Amber's friend informed her mother,
ever get in a
who
car with
reported her
random
missing.
people.
On August 28, 2012, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police released a 61-second cell phone recording to the public, which captured the conversation Amber had with the unknown man she got a ride with. Police didn't explain how they obtained the recording, but hoped someone could identify the man's voice. Here is the call.
Where are we by?
We're just heading south of Beaumont, or north of Beaumont.
We're heading north of Beaumont. Yo, where are we going? No, this is a... Are you fucking kidding me? You better not be taking me anywhere I don't want to go. I want to go into the city. Jeez. Yo, we're not going into the city, are we? No, we're not. Then what are these roads going to?
50th Street.
50th Street. Are you sure?
I just did like a dive out the car,
Where are we
like
going?
50th Street.
GTA out the car, just door open, then just jump out. I don't care if I scratch my elbows, arms, and head up. Wow.
Just 4 days after the recording was released to the public, Amber's remains were found by horseback riders on a rural property near Leduc County. In the recording, the unknown driver claimed he was driving north. However, RCMP investigators believe that instead of driving north to the city, he drove southeast along the rural roads of Leduc County. Although police released the 61-second recording, the call actually lasted for 17 minutes, which is practically the amount of time it would take to drive from the motel Amber was last seen to the location where her body was discovered. CBC News has learned that the call actually came from Amber's brother, who was locked up in the Edmonton Remand Center, where all outgoing calls are recorded. Police have said due to the recording, they have received hundreds of tips, but still have not identified the unknown driver.
That's messed up.
Number 3. Madeleine McCann. In late April of 2007, Kate and Jerry McCann went on holiday to Portugal with their 3 young children and a group of their friends. At 10:14 p.m. on Thursday, May 3rd, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann was reported missing. Portuguese police received a call claiming that the 3-year-old British girl had been abducted. Earlier that night at around 7 p.m., the McCanns put their children to bed. They say that all 3 were asleep at around 8:30 p.m. They then left the apartment and met up with 7 of their friends for dinner at a tapas bar, 50 yards across the pool from their apartment. The McCanns say that checks were made on the kids every half an hour to make sure they were safe. At around 9:05 p.m., Jerry McCann made his way to the ground floor apartment in Praia da Luz. He says all of the children were still asleep and Madeleine was in her bed. At 9:30 p.m., one of the McCann's friends, Dr. Matthew Oldfield, checked on the children. He claims that the McCann's bedroom door was wide open, but as he heard no noise, he left without looking far enough into the room to see whether Madeleine was in bed. At 10 p.m., Kate McCann checked the apartment. She says that she noticed the children's door was open wider than she remembered it being. When she entered the room, she claims that the window shutter and curtains were wide open and that Madeleine was no longer in her bed. Kate quickly returned to the tapas bar where she began screaming that someone had taken her daughter. At 10:30 p.m., the resort activated its missing child search protocol, where 60 staff and guests, and later police, searched the resort through the night. In the first 24 hours of the investigation, many mistakes were made by police. One being the crime scene that was not fully secured, meaning around 20 people entered the apartment before it was closed off, contaminating any potential evidence. The McCanns quickly became suspects by Portuguese police, as they didn't buy their story and couldn't believe that they left their children unattended. They theorized that there had been a tragic accident, and the parents had hid Madeleine's body and staged the abduction scene. Although they were suspects, Kate and Jerry were allowed to leave Portugal and return to the UK in September of 2007. After a year-long investigation, in July 2008, Portugal's Attorney General closed the case and the McCanns were no longer being treated as suspects. In 2013, a BBC show called Crime Watch showed a full reconstruction of the night in question and released e-fit pictures of a man that was spotted by Mary and Martin Smith from Ireland after they told police they saw the mysterious male carrying a child matching Madeleine's description at around 10 p.m., 500 yards from the McCann's apartment. They said that he was walking towards the beach, did not look like a tourist, and did not seem comfortable carrying the child.
Wow.
The show also released e-fits of a group of people that were spotted near the McCann's apartment on and around the day of the disappearance. Scotland Yard have theorized that Madeleine may have disturbed a burglary. Unfortunately, there haven't been many other leads, but nearly 9 years later, the McCanns still remain hopeful that Madeleine is alive and will be found. The case still remains open. Number 4. Kayelyn Louder. 30-year-old Kayelyn Louder went missing at around 7 p.m. on September 27, 2014. The circumstances in which she disappeared are very bizarre. In the morning, Louder had called 911 claiming that someone had broken into her condo in Murray, Utah, and believed the intruder was still in the house. She went on to say that she didn't see anyone, but she heard them talking. During the call, Louder yelled several times for the intruder to leave. Police investigated the report but found no evidence to suggest a break-in
stuff like that. Like, hold on. So,
Later
stuff like that, somebody breaking into the house and you have, absolutely no weapon to defend yourself. The best thing to do is to just hide, stay out of sight. Don't just pretty much just if the intruder is in one side of the house, go to the other side. He gets to that side, find a way around, okay, and then get to the other side. If you gotta jump out the window, you gotta leave, do whatever you could do so you won't end up in stuff like this where you're missing or your remains are found about 3-4 miles away from your house. That's just, you either leave or hide, either try to do whatever you possibly can to just don't end up dead or missing, okay? So
Louder was caught on surveillance camera walking barefoot in the rain outside her condo with her dog. Police believe she appears to be having an animated conversation.
That's crazy. She just walks back. At 7 p.m. for an unknown reason, Louder began to run. She left her dog, phone, money, keys, and car behind. This is the last time she was seen alive. Louder's mother had said in a statement that she spoke to her daughter that day and she seemed fine.
Her cousin claims that she was cleaning her condo that day and was working on her resume, as she had just been let go from her job as a social worker. Her family hired a private investigator to help the search for her. 2 months after her disappearance, on November 30th, Louder's body was discovered in the Jordan River in Utah, 5 miles from her home. An autopsy was performed but could not determine how she died. A toxicology report confirmed that there was nothing fatal or illegal in her system. Louder's family say they suspect foul play and do not believe the death was an accident, as she had no history of mental illness. However, investigators disagree because the 911 call she made on September 27th was not the first time she had made a false claim. The previous day, she had reported a fight at a wedding that didn't happen, which has led them to believe she was showing delusional behavior. No one truly knows what happened to Kayelyn Louder after she left the condo that day. Her family are still searching for answers.
That is crazy.
Number 5. The disappearance of Timothy J. Pitzen. On the morning of May 11, 2011, Amy Joan Marie Fry Pitzen traveled to the Greenman Elementary School and removed her only child from class and checked him out of the school. From there, Amy and her 6-year-old son, Timothy J. Pitzen, began their unexpected 3-day road trip. Their first stop was the Brookfield Zoo in Illinois. After that, they traveled to the Key Lime Cove Resort, where they spent the night. Timothy's father, James Pitzen, reported his wife and son as missing once he went to collect his boy from school and found out his wife had already taken him out, which he found strange. The next day, Amy and Timothy traveled to the Kalahari Water Park Resort in Wisconsin Dells. Surveillance from the water park the next morning shows them both waiting in line to check out. Shortly after, at around 1:30 p.m., Amy called several of her family members and friends and explained that her and Timothy were fine. At 7:25 p.m., Amy went to a family dollar store in Winnebago, Illinois, where she purchased stationery. She then traveled to the nearby Sullivan's Foods, where she was spotted once again on a security camera. This time, however, there was no sign of Timothy. Her final journey was at around 11:15 p.m., where she checked into the Rockford Inn in Rockford, Illinois. The next day, at around 12:30 p.m., she was found dead by the inn's employees. She had taken her own life by ingesting an overdose of antihistamines and had slit her wrists. Amy left a suicide note and had sent 2 letters to her loved ones in the mail, which claimed that Timothy was safe and was taken somewhere where he will be well cared for. She also wrote that no one will ever find him, and that she can't take the risk of Jim hurting Tim because of her choices. Timothy's Spider-Man backpack, toys, and clothing were missing, as well as the clothes Amy was wearing when she checked out of the Kalahari Resort. Amy's mother has said that she did suffer with depression, but she was not a crazy person and never acted bizarrely. Timothy still remains missing as of February 2016. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more.
That's crazy. Like, that's something, you never think would ever happen. Like, it's just, you hear stories like that, and it's just like, man, like, you don't know if the kid's dead, you don't know if he's alive. And it's like, so if he was like, so they say he was 10 during 2011, all right? So he should be like, what, like 14, 15 now at least. And it's just, that's something, if you haven't seen your dad in a while, did she tell him something about the dad and then try to put like false stories in his head? Because like a kid will believe anything when he's 10. So it's just like, what happened to him and stuff. Like, that's just, it's just stuff that you never think, like, whatever happened to that person when they went missing and stuff. And then for her to just say, oh, he's in a better place, like, you don't know if he's dead or alive. And so it's just, you can go ahead and say that the boy's safe and that he's, at a good place right now and doesn't want nobody bothering him. But it's like, how are we supposed to know if he's dead or alive? Nobody knows that. So it's like, that's why it's just, it's kind of just, there had to have been some family issues going on between those two couple if she just, randomly just took the boy and then she was like, didn't tell nobody where they were going to. Well, yeah, they found him on the surveillance cameras and stuff, but it's like, you didn't tell nobody where you were going. You just took this boy and left. Yeah, there had to have been some family issues, and she probably, what I think it was, she probably knew that she wouldn't be fit as a parent to take care of the Timothy kid. So she figured, you know what, well, hey, just because divorce had to been going down, or they were mentioning it, and or if they already were divorced, I don't know, but yeah, and then she was like, they probably was all like, yeah, she ain't fit to be a parent, so he's just gonna stay with the dad. And she was like, I'm not having it. Took him, either ended his life or sent him off somewhere. But it's like, really, that's just, I don't know. I wouldn't put my kid through that. Like, if I was going through like a, you know, divorce with my wife, that which I don't have, I'm just saying, if I was in that situation where I was getting a divorce, I'm not going to get my kids involved. Obviously, it didn't work between me and the mom, so I just, you know, as long as, you know, me and her don't get into it, I still want to be involved in my kid's life. And if she's not, then yeah, that's when I probably would take it to, you know, my own hands, or either go to a court or something. But I ain't gonna like kidnap the boy. All right, I just want to see the girl, whoever, like daughter or son. It's just so like, I want to see my kid or kids. So anyways, yeah, this is a really good video, Fact Faction. Everybody go subscribe to Fact Faction for more videos like this. You know, this is a really interesting video. Like, I found myself just sitting down watching, listening to the story unfold, because it's like, you know, you just try to like think of like, okay, what could have happened and stuff. And you know, you can only just tell like what might have been going down during the situation, but you don't know what happened like afterwards. You don't know why that happened and stuff, like after everything had ended and things. And so anyways, yeah, it was a really good video. So everybody go subscribe to Fact Faction. They have 175,000 subscribers. If you can subscribe to me, you can subscribe to them. But and that being said, people, I will talk to you guys later. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you are new, please like and subscribe, and peace.